Hey everybody, welcome back to Doc G's Reloading. Today I'm going to talk about Kydex again. We got a safe gun as usual. And as everyone can see, I'm pushing it in by that front part, which I forgot, the crane. Anyway, so my Kimber K6S, and I'm starting to wonder if Kydex is just the best thing since sliced bread. I don't know. So I had this gun. So my Smith & Wesson, my Walther PDP that I carry most of the time, that's in a Kydex holster. I did a video on that just recently, so you can check on that. I also have my Sig Sauer P365XL in a Kydex from Safariland. Well, this one is from Warne, W-A-R-N-E. And I went on Midway's website and I just typed in which one would fit my gun, and this came up as Kydex. I said, all right, I'm going to check it out. I'm going to try it. So it fits super comfortable. The problem I was having with the leather ones was that, yeah, they were super comfortable and they fit in there great, but they really hung up hard pulling them out, especially after you've had them sitting for a while, and the leather warms up and the leather seems to mold around the gun much tighter. So I don't know that I'm going to carry leather anymore at all. I had to really struggle to pull this out of the holster. I was just in the bathroom and I figured, I'm going to just practice a draw. So at the store, so I pulled my shirt out of the way, grabbed it, and I had a hard time wrestling it out of the leather. So I was like, oh man, okay, let's just stop carrying leather and just start carrying Kydex. And I know, this, so far I've worn this the last few days and it's been great. There's been no problems at all with it. Now, this one, my gun has the laser, so you can see it's got the laser on it there. You can see the laser light, all right? See it there? All right, so this is the Crimson Trace laser grip. Now, this holster stock does not fit it. So I did have to spend 20 minutes connecting, cutting this notch in there. So I had to cut that notch in there to fit the laser nubbin that sticks out from the side there. You got that laser chunk that sticks out quite a bit. So once I spent a half an hour dremeling that out of the way and getting it perfectly out of the way, then the gun fits in there fine. So I know there's other Kydex options, but I got this one just because it was simple and easy. Again, it's got a belt snap that just snaps over the belt. And, I like that feature. I've always liked that feature of inside the waistband appendix carry. It does have some adjustability. There's a bunch more holes up here. I put it in the farthest down hole, so absolute farthest down, because that pulls it as far out of the body as it can. You could go up with this, and then it would put it further down into the waist. But with it right here, for me, and no real cant on it, forward or backward, you can cant it. There is an ability to cant this. There's a little, oval hole there. So you can move this back and forth with some adjustability. The problem is if you move it forward too much, you end up running into the cylinder here, and it kind of limits your ability to go forward with it. But regardless, you've got enough, this way and that way, and it snaps onto my belt just fine. It holds the gun just fine. It does have the adjustability here with the rubber bumper to set your tension on it, how much tension do you want to have with the screw there. And once I get it set, I'm going to probably Loctite that in there so it doesn't just come loose. But this fits it beautifully, and no problem at all with even when it's in there as deep as it's supposed to be. My belt's here. Belt comes across here, I can still get in there and grab this gun and get a good purchase on it as I'm pulling it out of the Kydex. So I think for this K6S from Kimber with my Crimson Trace grip on it, I'm going to go Kydex. And my other two holsters are Kydex. My other two main carry holsters are Kydex. I'm just getting away from leather. I'm just not comfortable using any leather products right now because they hold up on the gun a lot of times. And this one in particular, I had a hard time pulling it out and drawing it. So for me, at least, with the 3 carry guns that I have, that I carry for the most part. Now I do have my Smith & Wesson J frame, 5-shot, 38 special plus P, and I do carry that one. That one's in a little leather holster that snaps under the belt. That one I've not had so much trouble with, although I might go Kydex with that one too, just to have a Kydex, just to go all Kydex. You know, this was not uncomfortable to wear at all. There were no sharp points. There was nothing. This was as comfortable as carrying my leather one. It's just that this one I could get out of the freaking holster. So, I mean, I can't explain to you how hard it was for me to pull this out of there. I mean, my pants were coming up. You know, it was bad. And that's when I said, you know what, if I need this in a hurry, that's not going to be good. And I already had my other 2 guns with Kydex. I had my, like I said, my Waller PDP in 9mm and my Sig Sauer P365 XL. I have both of those in Kydex already. And I really never carried leather for those guns. But the revolvers, I kind of always put them in leather holsters, and I think I'm done with that. This is not a bad holster. I'm sure there's probably some other ones out there that are better, but this Warne one was really nice. Again, it's just that it does not fit the gun if you have the Crimson Trace grip on it. If you don't have the Crimson Trace grip, it'll slide right in and no problem. If you do have the Crimson Trace, you're going to have to cut a notch in it. The notch was not that hard. It took me about a half an hour with a Dremel tool last night, just dremeling it to get it to slide in there. But wore this all day today, worn it for the last couple of days, super, super comfortable. And for me, really, now it's the way to go. I'm honestly thinking, because it's an absolute consistent pull every time. You know, body temperature, nothing changes your draw. So whatever you set this tension to here is the same all the time. And I'm going to Loctite that in place eventually, and then it's going to be exactly the same every time. So just getting away from leather, talking about the Kydex, talking about, I mean, just Kydex in general, I'm thinking, really, for a carry gun. I know Crossbreed Holster makes some hybrids where they have leather here and Kydex in front. I mean, for what I do, for what I carry, I just like an all Kydex appendix carry. I don't want anything extravagant. If I carry extra magazines or an extra speed loader, it's in a separate pouch and it's on the other side of my belt. But that's it right there. The Warne Kydex holster for the Kimber K6S. Thanks again for watching Doc G's Reloading.